My name's Kelly and I'm on food stamps. And before you run your fucking mouth, let me tell you why. My mother was on food stamps, and if I'm being frank, her mother was probably on food stamps. And the reason for that being is when you're born into poverty, it's almost impossible to escape. You're quite literally born into a system inherited for you to become part of the system. People love to say just work harder, but they don't realize how expensive it is to be poor. But what they don't see is the stress, the debt, the skipped meals, the jobs that don't pay you enough to live. Food stamps aren't a handout. They're quite literally a method of survival. And I'm not ashamed of it. I'm well aware of the life that I was given. It's not always fair. We don't always start at the same line. And I plan on being the last motherfucker in my bloodline that ever needs this fucking card. My name's Kelly and I'm on.
If you understand life's not fair, then what are we talking about? It's never been fair. Everything is not equal across the board for a multitude of reasons. There's people who don't come out looking like you. Maybe they come out in a situation where they have, middle class parents, but maybe they're disformed in some way, disfigured in some way. Maybe they don't have the mental capacity like you. There's a million different factors. There's always going to be something that we can point out to someone else to say that we didn't get that. And that's why the phrase has been going around since forever that life's not fair. But what I would argue is that we live in a time when there's never been more opportunities. And so that's not fair. For the people who were born generations before us, it's not fair that pretty much anybody can have a business today. Pretty much anybody can have distribution today. Pretty much anybody can come online and work from home. And imagine the people who get to see us with the opportunity to be able to work from home. And they're like, they never even thought that was a possibility. Oh, how sweet life could have been if they had the opportunity to work from home. Acting like you don't have the opportunities. Let me tell you something. Cybersecurity is on the rise. And that is absolutely going to be something that's going to be key and essential moving forward. And anybody can go online and take a free tech boot camp after work, whenever. But you're on TikTok complaining, probably on TikTok doing a lot of other things. And I think that would be closer to the reason why you can't get ahead than just the circumstances that you were born in. So misguided, and that victimhood is not going to get you very far. Ultimately, y'all, before we get into the next clip, if you'd like the video, I greatly appreciate it. Only takes a second. It actually helps out more than you know. And then also if you could hide.
So I know this is about to get under a lot of y'all's skin. It's the 20th of March. My EBT uploaded. Go shopping and get some food for these kids. Yes, I'm pregnant with baby number 6. And yes, I work full-time as a dental assistant. And I still receive EBT. So many haters hating on me because I receive EBT and I work full-time. It's actually a little bit funny, the comments that I see under my posts when I post that I'm on food stamps. Or when I do like my food stamp videos. But people will hate no matter what. Even if I wasn't on food stamps, people would still hate. They'd be like, how are you a full-time employee and you work as a dental assistant but you can get accepted for EBT? Oh no, I just applied and got accepted, y'all. Like, what? Oh man, I'm so tired of being congested. What really bothers me is like when people comment under my post and say, oh, me and my husband didn't get approved. That's not my fault. Why are you hating on me that I got food stamps but you just applied. Like, you just applied for yourself, for you and your family, but you just got denied. Go take that up with them. Appeal it. I don't know what to tell you. But don't be mad at me because I got approved for me and my kids. And you obviously would accept the help. Like, I don't get that part. Okay, that's enough on the food stamp rant. And I'm at Walmart today. I normally go to Sam's Club. I have a few things left still in the freezer. So I'm just going to go to Walmart to pick up a couple things that we need. I spent about $415 off my food stamps card. The rest was off WIC and my personal money. Now, I will say I did not get everything that I wanted to. The cart was too full. I still need to get my water. I got a lot of things that I need to make for this weekend because I'm going to my dad's on Sunday. And I wanted to do something fun with the kids tonight and make our own Rice Krispie treats. But thank y'all for watching. So I
always try to do things in good faith. I try. I'm not perfect in anything. But in good faith, what I will say is I agree that some people, or a lot of people, have tried to get benefits for themselves, but because they didn't, then that becomes their plight of why they have the issue with government assistance and benefits and all that good stuff. And I don't agree. I think that's a fickle philosophy. because you're really just hating on somebody because you couldn't get it. Now, I've never applied for benefits, so I can talk from the standpoint of just, I don't think that is right if you don't need it. And especially if you're intentionally making decisions and putting wounds on yourself that's going to affect you like she clearly is. Because I'm looking at her profile right now. I see all the kids, but I don't see a man in sight. So we can assume that she's a single mother. And the real question is, why are you pregnant right now with baby number 6? And there's no man in sight. Like, how are you pregnant again for the 6th time? And you were already on benefits. If you were already on benefits, then that means that you could not take care of your responsibilities on your own, the ones that you had at the time. So then what makes you think that you get to then procreate again and take on more for it just to enhance what you get because of the growing necessity? It seems intentional now. It seems egregious. And it seems like you haven't learned from any other past situations if there's no man involved this time. But even if see, exactly. Okay, well, now we got our clear answer. Because what I'm about to show you, I'm trying to like make points
Okay, let's finally.
while I'm doing research. Because I do these things in real time. Look what the caption says. A pregnant mom of 5 with 6 baby daddies on child support. She ain't even popped out the 6th baby, and she's already talking about she got the 6th dude on child support. So they're not together. And each kid is by a different dude. And now she's not with the 6th one, which I had already mentioned. I didn't see anybody around, but just kids. Let's watch this real quick.
Okay, let's finally talk about it, y'all. Yes, I have 5 children, and yes, I'm pregnant with my 6th baby. And yes, I have 6 baby daddies. And yes, none of them are around or help me. And yes, I live off my child support money that I get from each one of them. And yes, I do not work. I'm unemployed. And yes, my older kids feel like I don't give them any attention because I keep getting pregnant. I'm against all forms of birth control, hence why I keep getting pregnant. At least, that's what a lot of y'all assume. So let's clear the air. Yes, it's true. I'm pregnant with my 6th child. All of my kids are by one person. Yes, that person is involved. And no, I do not live off child support. I don't receive any child support. I am employed. I work at a dental office as a dental assistant. And no, my older kids do not feel that way whatsoever. All of my kids get enough attention and enough love, trust, and believe. I mean, my daughter might have been mad for a little second, but that's only because we found out it was a boy and she wanted another baby sister. One thing I've realized since creating content is not everyone is going to like the videos you put out there. And not everyone is going to agree with the lifestyle that you have. Also, whether you ask for one or not, people are always going to share their opinions under your post. But that's just what comes with this. I let people think what they want to think and say what they want to say about me. Because at the end of the day, I'm doing this for me and my family, so I could care less about the negative or hateful comments. And if you're someone that's been here since the beginning of my content journey, just know I love the support. I appreciate all the engagement y'all show on my post. So thank y'all for the love and even the hate, because soon.
You know what's crazy? Sometimes what the media likes to do, I guess you can consider me some form of media. What's funny is what a lot of times the media likes to do is when they get accurate and truthful information, they still like to run with the inaccurate, more entertaining story. How I feel like that relates to this is, look what we just was reviewing, what the caption was on the video. I have 6 kids by 6 different fathers, and I'm putting them on child support. Only for her to then switch it up mid-video and basically say, oh, that was a lie, basically, and that's what y'all can assume. But the way that you set the foundation was that's what you relied on for it to be clickbait. In this case, I actually wish I wouldn't have even watched the video. And I wish I would have just ran with what she tried to make it out to seem to be. Because that was intentional and it's annoying. And I see that a lot on TikTok. And I wish we'd have just went with the first thing. Matter of fact, I hope y'all cut it off at that point. before I even watched it. And I hope y'all just go on with that misconception that she's got 6 baby fathers and all this, because, ma'am, stop playing games with your reputation. It's not funny, it's not cute, and it's not worth the engagement, the likes, the clicks, or the clickbait for that matter. People on here playing games with their reputation. You think that opportunities are going to see that and they're going to do all that digging like I'm doing? It's in my interest to do a little extra digging, right? It's profitable. But most people are not going to do all that. They're just going to take the more entertaining facts and then they're going to run with it. And that's what you're going to be identified as. And that's not a game. That's not a joke.
It's this lady at my job and she really starting to piss me off. Every day she making a comment, I pay cash for my groceries, y'all got a food stamp card. How far do y'all really think them food stamps is going? Do you think that they really cashing us out to the point where we not spending cash on our food too? Them food stamps be gone within 2 weeks. On top of that, it's expensive to eat healthy and it's expensive to buy processed foods. Plus, I like to eat out. They don't take food stamps at the restaurant. Please stop acting like people that got a food stamp card just out here eating for free. She just jealous she don't qualify. Oh, bitch, you had your turn. Your kids is grown and gone. And it's always the people that want a food stamp card that got something negative to say. If I ain't qualified, I'd probably be mad too. And just know, sometimes you gotta lie to qualify. Y'all ain't up there saying the right shit. It's this.
See, this is what's annoying. Don't assume that we actually get cases where people admit that they tried to get it and they couldn't, and then that's why they're hating. Don't assume that's the same for that lady. She's at work. You said she's old, but yet she's still working a labor job. So what makes you think that that's something that she tried to exploit? She probably didn't try to exploit it, and that's why she feels the way that she feels. As well as it seems like some people get penalized for doing things the right way. Here's what I mean. Maybe she has a husband and her and her husband both work and they take care of them kids, take care of their kids the way that you're supposed to do it, and they're responsible and they didn't take on more than they can handle and then end up separating and being single, struggling. They did it the right way. And so they don't need benefits or whatever the case. But it seems like a lot of other people get rewarded for making all the bad, impulsive decisions that they want to make and then deciding that, no, I'm not going to cooperate with this other person that I had these kids with. I'm just going to do it on my own. I actually want to do it on my own. I actually don't want them around. I don't want to have to compromise with someone. I don't want to have to cooperate in harmony with someone. I just want to be alone with my kids where I have all the leverage and I can basically use it to my benefit and have all these income sources coming to me for a time. But that runs out. And then what they find is that they're not equipped to be able to take care of themselves after the fact because they've been reliant on all these external things that have been passive in a way. But once that goes away, because they haven't always traditionally been on a time limit, but now they're all on a time limit. So now we got to try to understand, well, are you really ready to carry that you chose to carry?
This girl got on here and said $27 would get you full access to unlimited yamps. They have created a website and they're charging people $27 to get access to the website, and apparently it's unlimited. You get unlimited yamps. My issue with this is the exact reason why people are waking up and they have no benefits on their card. And guess what? They're not putting those benefits back on there. You just lost them. Think of all the families that can't afford to feed themselves. Think of all the people who are actually struggling in real life and need their yimps to survive, to feed their children. Now, when y'all was out here doing the PPP loans and y'all scamming and stuff, I stayed quiet because y'all stealing money from the big people. Banks could afford to take a hit. The PPP loan, everybody do it. I'm watching everybody do it. I'm just watching them spend their money because I'm too scared to do it. But are we literally going for the poor? You're better than them. Attacking the poor and keeping them poor. I don't know. When I seen it, I was just baffled. And I was like, how could anybody with the heart, knowing that y'all the reason why people don't have their benefits, how could y'all do that? Like, why would you want to do that? If you're able to pay for it on your own, why would you want to take it from somebody else? This girl got
You can't buy sodas, energy drinks, candy with your food stamp card no more. And I see a lot of people like excited about that. Like, oh, we're going to make the world healthy. We're going to make broke people healthy. What about these rich, big back motherfuckers? Like, they can just eat up all the stuff. And I don't even get food stamps anymore. And it's all about control. Next thing you're going to say, oh, well, broke people can't drive what type of car they want to drive. Like, if you really think this administration, what you've been seeing with your own two eyes, if you think that this is all about being healthy, come on now. Y'all want to think about everything else.
It doesn't have to be about being healthy. It's about, that's free money that you've been given, and it's not going to be allocated to pleasantries. It's allocated for survival. It's not allocated for you to love it and feel like, oh, this is great, and never want to get rid of it. And then she tried to conflate them having regulations on funds that you receive, which I feel like all government funds that are pretty much given should be regulated. I don't see her being upset about Pell Grants being regulated. Oh, you have to use that on your school. You have to use that on books. You have to use that on, yeah, that money is a grant, a scholastic grant, and it's designed to be used specifically for scholastic purposes. And she tried to conflate that with next thing they're going to tell you what type of car to drive. Yeah, if they have some type of government funds that give you a car, they're not going to let you use government funds designed to help people to be able to get a vehicle. If that is something that ever comes down, I hope it doesn't. But if we had something that came down, you can't then take the government funds and be like, well, I'm not going to get this Honda Civic. I want a Range Rover. No, ma'am. You wouldn't be able to do that. And actually, that happens a lot when it comes to public officials as well, politically. You see a lot of them starting to buy all these nice cars and use state or county or city funds that they got from the taxpaying citizens of those cities and those counties, and they use it to be able to just live a luxurious lifestyle and buy Tahoes and all type of stuff. So yes, when things aren't regulated, it gets out of control, and then people start exploiting it. And so that's where it actually comes from. It doesn't come from trying to control nothing. It's about It's about what was this actually designed for from the beginning, and making sure that we're staying focused on that, and that it's not just getting out of control to where people can exploit it however which way they choose, as well as so they don't get incentivized to never try to do for themselves. Y'all, before we get off, if you could like the video, I greatly appreciate it. Only takes a second and it helps more than you know. Also, if you could hype is a new feature that YouTube offers where it helps smaller content creators like myself. And basically, when you hype, it actually pushes us to the extent that it pushes the larger content creators. So you just press the hype button, then it shows the points. And since I am a smaller content creator, we actually get more points per hype. And also Patreon's link below if you want to see self-improvement content as well. But until then, I'll catch you in the next video.